The following program is a production of Hōʻike Kauai Community Media. The Hōʻike Weekly has been made possible in part by the Rice Street Business Association, the Kauai Island Utility Cooperative, and Violi Properties.
Aloha, Kauai. We throw a lot of info at you here on the Hōʻike Weekly, and sometimes it's hard to remember all the links for information that are presented. Well, our newest staff member is earning her keep and has created a Hōʻike Weekly informational hub where you can go to get all the links you need for specifics on the info and events that are important to you. Scan the QR code that you see on the screen during each broadcast, and it'll take you right to it. And if you're listening to this as a podcast, you can scan the QR code, or you can't scan the QR code rather, no need to panic. Visit tinyurl.com/the Hōʻike Weekly, and it'll get you there too. Now, since I'm here, I think it's time to start today's show. I'm Trisha Allen, and this is the Hōʻike Weekly. You already know what time it is, Kauai. It's Newsflash time. Our island might be small, but there's a lot happening around here, and you have things to do. So we're going to give you the latest in a short and entertaining way so you can go about your week informed. This week has brought with it several fires around the island. On Sunday, September 14th, the Kauai Fire Department noticed a brush fire near Kalepa Ridge in Honolulu on their way in from a previous call. Once firefighters were on the scene, they found an area of about 100 feet by 50 feet of brush and trees on fire, as well as several spot fires spread over a wide area along the Kalepa Ridge dirt bike trail. Rescue 3 personnel used tank water to knock down the north flank of the fire, while Lihue and Kapaa firefighters shuttled water to take care of the rest of it. The area was cleared around 10 p.m. After some flare-ups in the area Monday morning around 6:15, the entire area was cleared again, and according to the county's news release, it sounds like Fire Chief Michael Gibson suspects these fires were intentional. Anyone with information about the incident is urged to contact Crime Stoppers Kauai, who is offering cash rewards for information that leads to an arrest. That number, 808-246-8300. Another fire on the east side this week happened Tuesday, September 17th. Kauai Fire Department was called to put out a fire on Ulu Street at the Kauai Marine and Mower Building around 9:50 at night. A retired firefighter who lives near the structure assisted the Kapaa, Kaloa, Lihue, and Kaikea fire stations in containing the blaze. Electricity service to the building was shut off for safety purposes, and the fire was extinguished, with the scene being cleared around 1:15 in the morning. A portion of Ulu Street was shut down until Wednesday afternoon to safeguard the public against parts of the building that were unstable. Damages to the building and its contents are estimated to be around $1.2 million, with no injuries reported. Fire personnel are currently still battling the latest brush fire on a ridge above Wainiha Powerhouse Road. As of this morning, the county is reporting that fire is about 60% contained. Originally reported around 8:35 p.m. on Wednesday, September 18th, officials estimate the size of the fire to be around 20 acres. And while officials have received reports of smoke entering homes in the area, there are no road closures or fire threats to any homes at this time. Every year, KIUC sponsors 4 high school juniors to take an all-expenses-paid trip to Washington, D.C. for a week of touring and learning about our government and history. This year, the 2024 Youth Tour delegates were Neva Lung from Kauai High, Eva Allen from Kapaa High School, Sage Chaney from Hawaii Technology Academy, and Kay Alvarez from Waimea High School. The tour left a lasting impression, inspiring personal growth and leadership through motivational talks and lasting friendships. More information about the trip, including each of the students' perspective, can be found in the fall issue of KIUC's Currents magazine or by visiting their website, kiuc.coop. The Girl Scouts of Kauai are blazing trails in regards to aviation. This week, United Airlines invited all the Girl Scout troops from Kauai for a fun and inspiring day at the Lihue Airport to celebrate Aviation Day. And our girls were the first in the state to participate in the program. They made the most of their inaugural visit while they were there too, by testing out their first class seats and making their way underneath the airplane to view the baggage hold and storage area. The girls even posted up in the cockpit for a bit to get the pilot's point of view before then making the final flight announcements for the last flight of the evening. Good job, girls. Way to keep those planes running on time. The County of Kauai Housing Agency is preparing to launch its Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, program application process for projects in the year 2025. Now, if you have no idea what the CDBG program is, don't worry, I had to Google it. The Community Development Block Grant Program is a federal program that provides funding to local governments to help improve communities, especially in low-income areas. The money can be used for things like building affordable housing, improving infrastructure like roads and parks, and supporting local services such as job training programs. The goal is to enhance the quality of life and economic opportunities for residents. The housing agency will be holding some meetings, but in person and virtual, to discuss, number 1, the use of the funds, 2, to receive public input, and 3, to show how people can apply for the funding. Information on these meetings can be found on the county's website at kauai.gov/housing or by scanning that new QR code. Ever since COVID, telehealth has become a popular means of accessing healthcare for a lot of Kauai residents. And the Pacific Basin Telehealth Resource Center, or PBTRC for short, is a group that aims to keep that avenue as easy and convenient as possible. The PBTRC has a survey for individuals with disabilities, caregivers, and healthcare providers alike to fill out, and the responses collected will be used to not only educate and build awareness among healthcare partners, it'll also further research that'll make healthcare access for those with disabilities on the island of Kauai easier to get. The survey can be found by scanning the QR code on your screen, or if you're listening on your podcast, you can get the info by going to pbtrc.org. The deadline for submitting real property tax exemptions is fast approaching. Residents have until September 30th to file, and all the info on that topic can be found at kauaipropertytax.com. The Lihue Refuse Transfer Station is closed for renovation. We all know this. The county's been making everybody aware of that for a while now, and letting the public know that other refuse transfer stations are available for services. It seems, though, that other locations are also having issues, and so the county has been releasing a status of the transfer stations available island-wide. As of this morning, the only place on island with all of their services available is the Kekaha landfill. The Hanalei transfer station has most of its services available, but is not accepting metals or white goods at this time. And only bagged trash is being accepted at the Hanapepe and Kapaa transfer stations. In order to stay up to date on where you can successfully drop off your trash, be sure to visit kauai.gov/transfer stations before you head out. Or maybe you could bring what's donatable to the Salvation Army monthly ARC event. It's happening today from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. At this monthly event, residents, businesses, and organizations can drop off unwanted items for reuse. Clothing, even if it's torn or stained, can be donated, along with small furniture, children's toys, books, and shoes. Items that cannot be accepted, though, include e-waste, chemicals, appliances, or broken items. For everybody's safety and to make the process smoother, the Salvation Army asks that participants remain in their vehicle while on site, and they'll transport everything from the vehicle to their containers. How easy is that? It's Friday, which means the weekend begins soon, and there's never a shortage of things to do around here. So let's take a quick look at what events you can look forward to in the upcoming week. Since 1981, September 21st has been dubbed International Day of Peace by the United Nations. And for a little over a decade, two men on Kauai's west side have been holding a celebration of their own to celebrate the pursuit of peace as a fundamental human right with everybody who attends. Those two men, Jerry Hirata and Mark Jeffers, sat down with me to talk about what's going on at this year's International Peace Day celebration in Hanapepe. Take a look. I think we're ready to start.
Great.
I'm going to do my opening spiel. Okay, here we go. Aloha Kauai, I'm Trisha Allen, and here in the studio with me, we have Jerry and Mark. They are both helping with International Peace Day, and more than just helping, you gentlemen are actually the organizers of the event. Is that right?
Somebody's got to do it.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what people can expect for International Day of Peace? It's September 21st, right?
Right, and it's United Nations International Day of Peace. It's a global sort of celebration, commemoration that has been sanctioned. So countries do it, communities do it. It's reached us here on Kauai, and we do it. So Mark and I have done this now. This will be our 12th year.
Yeah, 12 years, 12 glorious years. And we started out very, very simply, just gathering people on the lawn of the church, right, Jerry? Remember?
Yeah, and at your place too, at the Storybook Theater.
We had an international potluck where we ate foods from different cultures as a way of appreciating cultures, right? And then we started our walk that first year, I think.
Right. One of the ways we made this event was because we wanted to honor the legacy of Senator Spark Matsunaga, longtime peace advocate, peace activist. He was born on a sugar plantation, McBride Sugar Plantation, Kukuila. Moved to Hanapepe with his family, so he went to Ilele School, Kauai High School, University of Hawaii, graduated, served in the 100 Battalion and the 442. And then wounded twice in battle, came back, went to Harvard University Law School, returned to Kauai and worked in the state legislature, and served 27 years in Congress.
Wow. So he did a few things.
Yeah, he was the founder of the United States Institute of Peace. It's a beautiful facility in Washington, D.C. Jerry's visited it, yeah?
Many times now, whenever I go to Washington, D.C., so check it out.
So we're honoring Spark as our town hero, number one, because of his work for peace, but also we're honoring him so that we can tell his story. His story is very important for children. At our theater, we connect the Sparky's Garden that we've created, his beautiful statue of Spark in the garden, and then we connect that with the walk to the Soto Zen Temple, which has the most beautiful statue of Kenan.
It's a world peace statue, specifically dedicated to world peace.
There we go. Of course, Saturday, we're meeting in the garden at 3 p.m. to put people in costumes and give them banners and allow them to make signs of peace. And then at 4 o'clock, hopefully, we're going to open up the gates and we're going to walk. And we're hoping that it takes us about a half an hour to walk to the highway and walk along the highway and make noise and just really show the world that the color that we can make and the feelings that we have toward world peace. And then we arrive at the temple, and who's going to greet us there? The taiko drummers.
And then we have a peace program starting at 5 o'clock. And we have a number of different people that will give their messages of peace, expressions of peace in music, song, dance, poetry, prose. That's how we express it, yeah.
Okay. So what would you like people to walk away with if they come to this event? What would you like them to take with them after experiencing this?
So I look at it this way. So we have to talk about peace, and then we're walking for peace. So when you walk for peace, there are thoughts that come into your minds. I want the war to stop. I mean, what are you thinking, And then how can you translate what you are thinking, those words that you're saying, I want peace. Well, what does it really mean? How does that translate into maybe action? So what can you do? What will you do for peace? Or what can you do? We know that Spark Matsunaga walked the talk, right? He did a lot of things. It just happens when you talk about peace, of course, someone has to sort of enlighten you to kind of know what it is. We all have, you want to find the peace in yourself first, but then also you need to extend it. Look at what's happening in this world here. Everyone's affected by wars and conflicts, So there has to be a way to resolve those issues of conflict without going to war, And this is what Matsunaga tried to impress. So we want the audience there to sort of walk away with that feeling, what can I do to walk the talk? What can I do for peace? By coming to this event, yes, you're there now, but there's still other things that you could do, and we'd like to hear what people would have to say about that.
What we're trying to do is encourage families in particular to come forward and enjoy and learn from this kind of an event.
Okay.
And what we want is every child who grow up on this island to know about Sparky Matsunaga. Who is he? This is like one of our goals. Yeah, that's our wish. And the children at Intʻl School and Kauai School, they're folding paper cranes.
Yeah.
So they're becoming engaged and they're thinking about it, yeah?
Is that all the cranes?
What does this crane stand for, yeah?
Yeah. Are those all the cranes that are at the temple right now?
Right.
Were those
you
all
saw
made
those
by
pictures,
I
think.
did. Were those all made by the kids at Intʻl School?
Yes. Not all, but we have different groups doing it. I fold a lot of cranes during Peace Day, probably over 1,000 myself.
Wow. Wow.
And there's other people that contribute to that effort in many different ways.
Yeah, in fact, we have a need. The parade works the best if it's rhythmic, if there's a rhythm to it. And what we need is percussion people with a bell, people with a claves, people with a timbales.
Noise, rhythm.
We need noisy people.
What website can people go to for information? We're going to give them what we can, but where can we send them online?
All of the information is posted on kawaisotozen.org. It's our website.
And we'll have posts on our storybook.org as well.
Perfect. All right, then that's where we'll send them. Mr. Jerry Harada and Mr. Mark Jeffers, thank you so much for joining us in our auxiliary studio.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time.
See you on Saturday.
Yes. Okay, that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Another International Day of Celebration is also happening on Saturday. This one is International Coast Cleanup Day. In honor of this special day, the Surfrider Organization of Kauai is hosting a beach cleanup, and participants must register to get the exact location. Information on that can be found at volunteer.surfrider.org. The Kauai Society of Artists Gallery at Kukui Grove Center has an exhibition happening all the way till October 25th that features local Kauai artists. Dozens of works will be on display, including paintings, mixed media, ceramic sculptures, and more. KSA Gallery is open from noon to 6 p.m. daily and from noon to 7 on Fridays. To get specifics, you can visit KauaiSocietyOfArtists.org or visit their Instagram page at Kauai Society of Artists. A week-long celebration of Hawaiian culture known as the Kauai Mokihana Festival kicks off this Sunday, September 22nd. Each day features a different event. Like on Sunday, there's a Hawaiian church service at the Kapaa First Hawaiian Church. On Monday, there's a concert happening at the Sheraton Kauai Coconut Beach Resort. Workshops happening on Tuesday through Thursday are also taking place there, and the week is capped off with a hula competition and craft fair at the Kauai War Memorial Convention Hall on Friday and Saturday. A complete list of events, times, and other info can be found at the Malie Foundation website, maliefoundation.org. The Hanalei Initiative, a North Shore nonprofit that serves the community and environmental needs of that area, is holding their third annual picnic in the park on Sunday, September 22nd, from noon until 6 p.m. This family-friendly event will include a picnic and, of course, a mobile skate park provided by Kauai Skate Ohana, climbing walls, face painting, kids' activities, a kickball tournament, and music. Attendees can expect to learn about what Hanalei Initiative has in store this upcoming year, as well as what they've accomplished so far. Specifics on the event can be found on their Instagram page at _Hanalei_initiative. More computer literacy classes will be available at several Kauai libraries next week. That's because back in 2022, $975,000 in federal funding was secured to help build Hawaii's digital workforce. During the month of September, weekly classes are being held at the Kapaa, Hanapepe, and Waimea libraries. This next class coming up will teach online safety and security. Waimea Library is holding this class September 24th at 10:30 a.m. Kapaa Library will be holding their class September 26th at 10 a.m. and Hanapepe Library will also be holding their online safety and security class September 26th, but in the afternoon at 1 p.m. Participants must be registered for the class in order to ensure that there are enough Chromebooks available for everyone. Complete registration information and all other details can be found at mapunawai.com/HSPLS-Kauai-schedule. Our background picture is of the beautiful Kalepa Ridge, obviously before the brushfire, and it was submitted by our newest staff member, Liv Franco. She's on a roll with these pictures, but don't let her get all the glory. Submit some pictures of your own and let's give her a break. She's got a lot of stuff to do. She's got her hands full with all the new Hōʻike Weekly website and all of our social media pages. Here's how you can contribute. Go to our website, hoike.org, and scroll down to click Submit a Picture. Make sure the picture's in landscape and then tune in next week to see if it's featured on the show. All right, Kauai, that's all the Hōʻike we have for you this week. I'm Trisha Allen, wishing you love and aloha.
Hōʻike Kauai Community Media's president and CEO is Allegra Gaines. Administrative assistant, Leiko Someda. Production and education services by Roger Olson. Production and IT services by Max Richardson. News and events producer, Trisha Allen. County producer and social media manager, Olivia Franco. Hōʻike's board of directors include Chair Adam Reversi, Vice Chair Lexi Jones, Secretary Nathaniel Evslin, and Treasurer Jackie Kaina. Additional directors include Leah Awohi, Lori Barrett, Rod Green, Teak Rubiano, and Taylor Young.